This is a 2x4, 8 feet long. Do you think you could create that? I'd go ahead and challenge you to do it. And then please watch the video, as there may be more tips I give you throughout building this part. So again, the 2x4, it is 8 foot long, and if you think you can make it, go ahead and give it a shot. And if you get stuck, just come back to this video and watch through the video. If you get it completed, come back, watch the video, and see what else I have to teach you. Alright, so I assume that you've maybe given it a shot already, had luck or didn't have luck. Hopefully this video will answer your questions for you or help you learn something new as you watch this video. I'll create a new part as we've been learning. We'll go into the YZ plane. I'll slide this out of the way, and I'm going to create a rectangle. I'm going to start that rectangle right here at this point. And I'm going to click a position, and I can use the grid to give it that location. Or you see above here we have what's called the tools palette. If I hit tab, I can key in the coordinate of where I want that coordinate, or tab twice to get to the width. If you know the width and height, you could key in the width and height. This is a 2x4, so for a width I'll type in 4, so it's highlighted in blue. You don't have to select in there or anything, it's already highlighted. Hit 4. Again, I just hit the tab button to get in that area. I hit tab to tab over to height, and I type in the height of 2, and I hit enter because that's the height and width I need. Not only will it create the rectangle, but it will constrain it for me automatically. Now, I need to make this line and this line a datum. So if you select both of those lines, you can go into the dialog box. And when you open up this dialog box, you can do a fix on both lines to set your datums, as well as remove your horizontal and verticals. So when I click on that, you get your list of your constraints definitions. We're going to add fix, and you see the anchors appear. You'll notice that the lines on top become green because this part is now fully constrained. I'm going to remove the horizontal and vertical and select OK. You know what? I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally move my part. So I can put on a constraint from here to here, and it comes in purple. And the purple is telling me that I need to double click on this and make it a reference. Say OK. And I did land that in the right spot, and I like to line it up on a nice grid just to keep everything nice and clean. So I'll line it up a ½ inch off the part and get my arrows lined up so the part looks proper. Unfortunately, it doesn't snap to the grids, so that's close enough for aircraft here. So we'll go ahead and try the next one. Alright, so I'll do another constraint. I'm going to constrain from this line to this one here. I'll line that up on that grid. I'll line this one up on the grid, and again, this is supposed to be black, but it's not because there's an over constrained situation. It means I can't change this to 2 and have this be fixed. It won't let me move that line. So it says you're over constraining this. I can't do both. I can't make this a variable and leave that line fixed. So again, to change that, you simply double click it, activate reference, and select OK. This part's fully constrained. Don't forget, we have to go into the sketch, into the geometrical set, or sorry, not the geometry, and then the fix. You can see I've got 4 lines and 4 points, which I should have. And in my constraints, I have my 2 datums, this one being datum A. So we go to properties, feature properties, and change that to say datum A. And and rename this one under properties. Change that to say datum B. Now the part is fully constrained. Okay, I'm going to hit exit, create a pad, and when what happened there? I'm going to use the pad icon actually. So to find the pad icon, I hit model, and I choose the pad icon in the feature base. The feature I'm using is pad. This is a message I want you to copy paste. I want you to do exactly what I did. And what I did was I intentionally created an error by leaving my sketch in the geometrical set. I know a lot of you have been wondering, why do we got to keep making the part body underlined? The part body is for solids. The geometrical set is for construction geometry, such as points, lines, curves, and circles, surfaces, faces, volumes, etc. The only thing that goes in the part body is really the solid. When you go on to the intermediate class, we'll start working with the geometrical set more. But as for right now, we're doing simple canonical features in the part design workbench. So we're going to work in the part body. When you get this error, if you just ignore it and say okay, you can still create your beam. So I'll type in 12 for 12 inches times 8. Or if you can calculate 12 times 8 in your head, you could just type in 76 and it will go to 76 inches. So an 8-foot board is 12 times 8. What you do after hitting 12 times 8 is you hit not the enter button, but the tab button. And then it shows you it's good. Oh, it's 96 inches. See, I can't even do math. So it's 96 inches. And then if you hit or zoom down, you can see, whoa, this board's going long ways, but I want to reverse the direction, so I hit reverse direction. Now I can zoom up and I can see all my dimensions are on the front where it belongs, and it's going to be easier for me to manipulate with all the dimensions sitting on the front. I can select, sorry, I keep calling them dimensions, these are constraints. All the constraints on the front, constraints are variables that are allowed to be edited. I'll select OK. Now, to apply the material, we go to Tools, and we use the Material Browser. Select or type in fur for a search. I'll click on this, hit the down arrow, and hit Apply. Again, nothing happens. It's waiting for you to close off the materials. You don't see the materials because we need to go back to View in the tabs on the bottom. So under View, we're looking for Shade with Material. Oh, I didn't do the check mark. I got to click on that and hit the green check to check that on. And now you can see this part has material applied. All right, I want my 2x4 to go straight up and down instead of laying flat on the ground. So I'm going to rebuild this from scratch correctly. What I did want to show you before I leave is, take a look here. You see a geometrical set in the part body. Both sketches are in two places. And the warning is telling you, I'm not going to like that. Later on down the road, this is going to cause you a nightmare. You're going to wish you didn't do that to me. So when you create a part, you want to make sure to do the steps I've been teaching. When I open up a new part and go into the part design, the first step is to make the part body the in-work object. Okay, this time I'm going to select the XY plane and we're going to sketch on a different plane. We've been doing a lot on the YZ plane. It's time to learn to step up and try another plane. It's very similar. When I select the XY, I select the constraint sketch icon. Notice that horizontal is going down and vertical is going side to side. I guess in Europe, their vertical is side to side and their horizontal is up and down. But we're in America, so in America, horizontal goes side to side and vertical will go up and down. In order to fix that, you go to the View tab down on the bottom, and then you're going to hit this icon here called Normal to View. And what Normal to View will do, this icon down here in the bottom, what the Normal View icon will do is flip horizontal and vertical. But horizontal is now going to the left. All graphics we've learned in all math classes prior to this, horizontal goes to the right. So right is positive and left is negative. So if you hit Normal to View one more time, it will flip it so that you're looking at the axis now where H is horizontal and V is vertical. I can slide this over here and go to Sketch tab on the bottom to create my rectangle. I use rectangle, click right here at the 1 in 1 position as we've been doing thus far. Hit tab to get to the point H, hit tab to get to point V, and hit tab one more time to get to my width being 4. Hit tab one more time to get to my height, hit 2, and then hit enter. Again, my part is fully constrained. And I'm checking this to make sure my sketch is in the proper location. Now, select your 2 lines at once by grabbing the Control button. Notice it shift? No big deal. What I'm going to do here, actually it's going to be a big deal. If that keeps shifting on you, one of the things you can do here, I'm going to hit undo, put it back to where it was. You can go to constraints and constrain here to here. Constrain the vertical line to the vertical axis. Okay. And then come back and hit these 2 lines and set that. You could hit fix, but then you won't be able to easily grab the H and V to delete it. I like to do everything just in one step. So if I go to the dialog box, using this dialog box, it allows me to turn on and off the horizontal and vertical and set the anchors on both lines in one step. So I grab that, I hit fix. When I hit fix, this little anchor symbol again appears down here and over here. And horizontal and vertical are on. You just turn them both off. You'll notice that the H and V's get removed. Select OK. Now these again turn red, so you double click it and hit reference. Select OK. Double click it, hit reference, select OK. And now you're done. This part is fully constrained. One last step is to go into the constraints, rename the first datum, and I always like to do the horizontal line and then the vertical line. So when you do it that way, sometimes you're not sure which one is which when you're doing them all at once. A lot of times it seems to get it right, but sometimes it misses. As you see in this case, there's my vertical line. That's actually datum B, and this is datum A, so you got to watch out and make sure you're doing this correctly. We're going to go to Properties and change that to datum A. And we're going to click on this one and go to Properties. Again, this is a contextual menu. Click, right-clicking on it. And we're going to change that to datum C, or A, wait a minute, datum B. Select OK. You'll notice in the specification tree, I have my datum A and my datum B named, so we're all good to go. You want to make a snapshot of this right here, making sure we're in the part body, sketches in the part body, expand it so we see datum A and B, and I can see X and Y letting me know you're on the correct plane, X and Y plane. I'm going to exit out and we'll build a pad. So we go to models and hit the pad icon. I'll type in again 12 times 8 and hit the tab button. It will calculate it for me. In this case, I do want to go straight up. If I hit view, I can hit fit all in, and I can see, well, you're not going to be able to see the whole thing until you say OK. So I'll select OK just to create it, do my fit all in, and now you can see the 2x4 is straight up and down. We'll go back to tools and apply the material. I'll type in fur on the top. You know, I feel like I got a little money now. I'm going to try some Scandinavian fur. So I'll get some more expensive fur here and I'll apply that one. I'm going to close this off. Click on this specification tree, the top collector here, and hit the green check. You see my material, Scandinavian fur, has been applied. I can hit view, zoom in an area, click a box, drag a box. Okay, again I click zoom area. I could get really close to this by dragging a box, and then I could go back to fit all in to see the whole thing. And there's your 2x4. It's 8 feet long. Next step is to get a picture of that. With the tree, the pad, I want to see that there's one sketch, one pad in the part body, and that the Scandinavian fur has been applied to this. Okay, it should go straight up and down. That would indicate to me that you did it on the correct plane, the XY plane. Okay, and then do the next step, which is creating your measurements. Again, that's found in tools in the tabs on the bottom. And the first icon here is measure item. I'm just going to grab, make sure that keep measure is on in the pop-up window. I'm going to grab a line. Now I know it's 96 inches tall because 8 times 12 is 96. Select this edge here. There's your 4. And this edge here, there's your 2. I've got my 2x4, and I'll zoom back down. It's 96 inches in height. Okay, select OK to that. If you select OK with the keep measure on, it keeps those measurements. You can make a picture like that if you want. And then the final step is to do the inertia check. We'll do inertia. Select your part body in the specification tree. Expand your measurements. And you can make a picture just like that. Your part should weigh the same as mine. It should be 15.2602 pounds. The center of gravity is 3 inches in the X direction. Y direction is 2 inches, 48 inches tall. So if all those values match, you did it correct. As we start to get more advanced, this might have slight deviations, and I'm not really sure why. It might be computer specs. But bottom line is, for right now, if you're close to the same weight and center of gravity, you should be good to go. And hopefully these are working out for you. So make a picture of this and submit the Word doc, and you're ready to go on to the next exercise.